suppose we're gonna start to practice our worksheet, okay, or sorry, practice the section review of chapter 9, section 2 about the ideal calculations of stoichiometry. So let's find here, okay, try to answer, and please guys try to share, okay, in this part because it's very, very important, okay. Actually this section is important, a lot of questions in the exam about this, and don't forget that the exam marks of quarter 3 will be low. So suppose that you are, okay, try to do best to save your marks. So let's practice here. First chemical equation is find the following equation, then give then given the moles of reactants or products below, determine the corresponding amount in moles of each other reactants and products. So he just give you a chemical equation. He asks you first to balance this chemical equation. Then let's try to find, okay, how much, okay, the corresponding, okay, amounts of moles of each reactant and the product regarding to the given amounts he gives you. That means once you have 4 mole of ammonia, how many moles of oxygen is needed, how many moles of nitrogen, and how many moles of water, and so on. The same in B, the same in C. So let's try to find here. Let's start. Who can balance this chemical equation, guys? Okay, who can balance this chemical equation? Guys, let's try to share. Let's
One
try.
sec.
Yes, Hassan.
Uh,
Think
uh,
how many nitrogen here
One nitrogen, and
and
here
here.
it's two nitrogen.
So what we
So
should do?
two here,
We're gonna add coefficient 2. So once we
and
add
then the
coefficient
hydrogen
2,
is not balanced.
so
So
the
three
hydrogen is not
hydrogen on
balanced.
the right,
So here like this 6 hydrogen, but here 2, so we're
it's
gonna
two,
write
so three.
3, okay, in that way, okay.
So
So
oxygen is not balanced.
oxygen not balanced, so what is the number that I multiply by 2 that equal 3?
One and a half.
1.5. So could we have 1.5 atom?
No,
We
we
can't.
do here three and here six
So we're gonna multiply all the equation by 2
by
to
two.
ensure that we remove this fraction. So this 2 will be 4, okay, and this 1.5, it will
Will
be
be three,
3, and this will be 2, and
and
here
this will
that
be
will be
six.
6. Okay, so like this we get the chemical, okay, the balanced chemical equation. Okay, so 4NH3 plus 3O2 yields 2NH2 and 2 plus 6H2O. Good, Hassan. Okay, so then the first part we did, we balance already the chemical equation. Then we ask, let's find here, if we have 4 mole of ammonia in H3, how many moles of oxygen we're gonna have?
Three.
3, okay, because already the mole ratio between ammonia and oxygen is 4 to 3. So 4 moles of ammonia, we're gonna, so here we said that we get 4 mole, okay, of ammonia, 4 mole NH3, they will produce about, okay, 3 mole of oxygen. Good. Then we ask here, okay, what about how many mole of nitrogen we have when we have 4 mole of ammonia? Okay, Hassan, how many mole of nitrogen?
Uh, Two.
2 mole of nitrogen. Good. And how many mole of water?
Six.
6. Okay. Good. 6 mole of water. So here, like this, guys, we could easily observe that. Then the first one, we know that if we have 4 mole of ammonia, we are gonna need 4 mole of oxygen, and that will produce 2 moles of nitrogen and 6 moles of water. Okay, so that's letter A is done. So then let's pass to letter B on the same way. Who can do it? Okay, let's find another one. Okay, Lulwa, let's try. Lulwa, Lulwa, can you hear me? Noreen, Noreen, guys, please.
I can do it, mister.
I know that you can do it, Hassan. I just will think for the others.
Abdurrahman raised his hand.
Okay, Abdurrahman. Let's try Abdurrahman here. If you have 4 mole of nitrogen, 4 mole of nitrogen. Okay, so how many we could get of ammonia and oxygen and water? Okay,
Ammonia 4.
so let's find here. Henny, how many nitrogen do we have here? Already,
How many nitrogen?
yes, according to the equation, how many
4.
mole? No, how many mole, not number of atoms. How many mole?
In the equation or
Yes, from the equation.
1?
No, look, we balance the
2.
equation. 2. So we have 2 mole of nitrogen already. They produces how many, okay, mole of ammonia?
8.
Here.
Then multiply 2.
No, after multiplying, we already, that's the final, okay, balanced chemical equation. Okay?
تمام.
So we see that 2 mole of nitrogen. How many mole of ammonia we have here?
4.
4. Good. So they produce 4 mole of ammonia. So he asks now, if you have 4 mole of nitrogen, okay, so how many mole of ammonia we're going to have?
8.
8. So good. We have 8 mole of ammonia. So that's the first one. Do the same. Okay. Now we need to find how many moles of oxygen we're going to have. Already 2 mole of nitrogen. They produce 3 moles of oxygen. Yes or no?
6.
So like this, 4, they are going to have 6. Good. Okay. So let's pause. That's when it's 4. Okay. Nitrogen. They will produce 6. Okay. So I'm going to try to share another white screen to be clear for you. Now, can you see this word screen, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So like this, okay, we said that 4 mole of nitrogen, they will produce 8 moles of NH3, because let's remember we balance the chemical equation like that. So just remember, okay, that's 3 and here 2 and here 6. Okay. So then you said that 4 mole of nitrogen, they will produce 6 moles of oxygen, and 4 mole of nitrogen, they produce how many mole of water?
12.
12. Good. Okay. So is it hard like this?
No.
No. So that's about B. Okay. Good. Let's try it. Letter C. Okay. Who can do it? Letter C. The same way, guys. We're just repeating the same step. So why you still didn't share? Let's find here. Ryan.
Yes.
Could you please help us in this one? So Ryan, he asks you, what if we have 4.5 mole of oxygen? So let's start by basic. If we have 3 mole of oxygen already producing how many mole of ammonia? 3 mole of oxygen producing how many mole of ammonia?
4.
4. Good. So that's the basic regarding to the equation. So he asks you, if you have, in a state of 3, you have 4.5 mole of oxygen. So how many moles of ammonia will be produced? So cross multiplication, 4.5 multiply 4 divided by 3. So could you calculate it, please?
Okay.
How much is it?
1 second. 6. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So it's 6. So let's do the same. Okay. So regarding to the basic equation here, if we have 3O2, 3 moles of oxygen, they produce how many mole of nitrogen?
1.
2, good. So like this 4.5 moles of oxygen, okay, they produce how many nitrogen? So it will be 4.5 multiply 2 divided by
2.
3. Yes or no? Cross multiplication will multiply this and divide over this. Yes?
Yes,
So
it's
4
3.
equal 3. Good. Okay, 3 mole. Okay, so the last one here to the war. Okay, 3 moles of oxygen produce how many mole of water? They produce 6 moles of water. Yes?
Yes,
So what about 4.5 mole of oxygen? They will produce how many mole of water?
9.
9. Brilliant. Okay, so is it hard like this?
Yes, no, it's easy.
It's easy, yes? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the first question. We know now how to find the mole ratio, okay, between different substances and how we could find the amount in a mole to get another substance or unknown substance in mole also. That's the basic type of ideal calculations of stoichiometry. So let's pass to the next question, okay? So question number 2, he asks you here, okay, one reactant when on reaction that produces hydrogen gas can be represented by the following unbalanced chemical equation. So he started to ask what the mass of hydrochloric acid or HCl is consumed by the reaction of 2.5 moles of magnesium. Okay, he asked about the mass, that means he's in grams. Okay, so let's try to find how we could solve this problem, guys. Okay, who can tell me? Who can work with me in that problem, guys? Yes, Abdurrahman.
نعملها بالانس.
First, we're going to make a balance. Brilliant. Okay, so let's balance it. So here one magnesium and here one. Okay, then
هنا تبقى 2 HCl.
so we're gonna write the coefficient 2 because here we have 2 hydrogen, but here 1. So like this, is it balanced right now or not?
Yes.
Balanced. Okay, great work. So the first step that always we start by a balanced chemical equation. That the first step in any stoichiometry problems. Okay, then we'll start. So what mass of HCl is consumed by the reaction of 2.5 moles of magnesium? So he asked about mass, grams. So the first step to be able to get the amount in grams, first we should know the amount in
Moles.
moles. Brilliant. So let's use the equation here. Okay, so how many, okay, 2 moles of hydrochloric acid producing, okay, sorry, 1 mole of magnesium producing how many hydrochloric acid?
2.
2. So we like this. Okay, we said that 1 mole of magnesium, okay, that produce, okay, you can see what I'm writing. Yes, guys?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so 1 mole of magnesium producing 2 mole, okay, of hydrochloric acid. Good. Okay, so he asks you, okay, now how many, if we have 2.5 mole of magnesium, so how much moles of hydrochloric acid we are gonna have?
5.
5. Good. So 5 moles of hydrochloric. So already we figured the first step, or we get the first step, that the 2 moles and half of magnesium, they are able to produce 5 moles of hydrochloric acid. But the question doesn't ask in moles, he asks in grams. So we need to convert this 5 moles into grams. So let's find the molar mass of the hydrochloric acid. So we said that 1 mole of HCl equal how many gram? The mass of hydrogen is 1. The mass of chlorine is 35.5. So that means, can you hear me?
35 plus 1.
So 1, good, plus 35 equal 36. Okay, that's 36 grams. So that's 1 mole of hydrochloric acid equal 36 grams. So what about 5 mole of hydrochloric acid?
ثانية بس كده أحسبها.
So 5 multiply 36.
One hundred 82.
Again,
182.
182. Yes, good. 182. Brilliant. Okay, more. Sorry, gram. Is it hard like this?
No, Mister.
Okay, so we're right. Then he asks you in the same equation. Okay. Here, what mass of each product is produced in part A? Okay, so he asks you what mass of each product. That means we need to find the mass of MgCl2 and H2. Okay, that means if we have 5 moles, okay, of HCl, how many grams of MgCl2 will be produced and how many grams of H2 will be produced? Who can work on this? Okay, question, guys. Guys, Lion,
5.05 grams
which one?
of hydrogen.
Okay, so let's find here so if we said regarding to the equation, let's start by steps. Always Hassan talk to in the steps. Don't just give me a final answer. Okay. So what are the steps you follow? First thing we are gonna
we're gonna اللي هو الهيدروجين اللي هو H2 يبقى 2 هيدروجين اللي هو 2
regarding
grams.
just please. No, of course. How
Yeah.
that he asks about what the mass of each product in the produced in A. So we are gonna use the givens which or the results which we reach. We reach that the 2.5 moles of magnesium, okay, is gonna be reacted with 5 moles of hydrochloric acid. So we're gonna follow in the same manner here. We said first 1 mole of magnesium produced how many? 1 mole of magnesium produced how many mole of magnesium chloride?
2 لا
Magnesium chloride.
magnesium chloride مش hydrochloric acid.
Hmm.
2 1
1. So 1 mole of magnesium producing 1 mole of magnesium chloride. Okay, because here 1 and that's 1, so it's okay. So in the given A, he asks you that you have 2.5 mole of magnesium. So 2.5 mole of magnesium. How much they are gonna produce?
2.5.
2.5. So we have 2.5 of magnesium chloride. So then he asks to find this magnesium, these 2.5 moles in grams. So first of all, we must find the molar mass of the magnesium chloride. Yes.
Yes.
So let's see here. Okay, 1 mole of magnesium chloride equal magnesium is 24, chlorine is 35. Okay, so 24 plus 2 multiply 35 because we have 2 atoms of chlorine. Okay, so that's equal 94 gram. Yes.
94.
So that's 1 mole. What about 2.5 mole?
يبقى ده times 2.5.
So 94 multiply 2.5 divided by 1. So it equals how much it equals?
237.5.
237.5. So that means 237.5 gram. Okay, so like this, once we use 2.5 moles of magnesium, it will produce 237.5 grams of magnesium chloride. The same we're gonna do for hydrogen. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so here we said regarding to the equation, 1 mole of magnesium producing how many moles of hydrogen?
2
hydrogen.
2.
We just balance it by this. So is there any coefficient? That means it's 1.
لا.
So 1 mole of hydrogen. Yes.
صح.
Okay, so 2.5 mole of magnesium, they will produce how many moles of hydrogen?
2.5.
What's 2 bar 2.5? So this 2.5 mole of hydrogen, we need to convert them into molar, into grams. So let's find the molar mass of hydrogen. So 1 mole of hydrogen, okay, equals how many gram? 2 multiply 1
Uh,
because the mass of hydrogen equal 1. So it equal 2 gram. Yes? So 2 gram. So in that case, we said that 2.5 mole of hydrogen equals how many gram?
5.
So it equal 5 gram, like this. So that's mean here, if he asked what the mass of products, we said that once we use 2.5 moles of magnesium, it will produce 273.5 grams of magnesium chloride and 5 grams of hydrogen. Is it clear?
Okay.
Okay. So that's here how we answer this. Let's pass to the next question. So he asks you here, acetyl gas C2H2 is produced as a result of the following reaction. Okay, so and he gives you the reaction. So if 32 grams of calcium carbonate, okay, are consumed in this reaction, how many moles of H2O are needed? So just the same way, but here we start by grams and we need to convert into moles. Okay, so who can answer this question? Who can answer this question, guys? Only Abdurrahman and Hassan. Okay, so you're gonna get your participation marks. The others will not. Okay, no problem. Ryan also is shared. Okay, so what else? Hey guys, who can answer this? Lulwa, Noreen. Okay, guys. Lion, Lion, Haya.
Yes, Mr.
Could you please help me in this question?
Okay, but I'm confused. Yeah.
No problem. We just sharing identity, speaking and trying to know how to write or how to answer question better than keep silent. Okay. So here he asks you here. He give you this chemical equation. So first of all, we need to check this chemical equation is balanced or not. Okay, so the first step that we check the chemical equation is balanced or not. Okay, Haya.
Okay.
So let's find here how many calcium here, Haya. How many Ca?
1,
And here.
1,
Okay. How many carbon do we have here?
2,
And here.
2,
Good. How many hydrogen do we have?
2.
No, it's 2 multiply 2. Okay, because here we have coefficient 2 and subscript 2. So overall, how many hydrogen do we have?
4,
4. 2 multiply 2, 4. So we have 4 hydrogen. Let's see. How many hydrogen here?
2,
And here?
2.
2. So overall, they are 4. So in the reactants, we have 4. In products, we have 4. Good. How many oxygen do we have?
2,
2. And here, how many oxygen do we have?
2.
2. So the chemical equation is balanced or not?
Yes.
Balanced. So we check that it's balanced. It's okay. So we can work on this chemical equation now. So he asks you, if 32 grams of that substance are consumed in the reaction, how many moles of water is needed? Okay, So first of all, what we're going to find the mole ratio. That means how many mole of this substance react with how many mole of water. Could you tell me? One. Here, how many mole do we have of calcium carbonate?
2.
That's 2. Is here 2? Do you find the coefficient 2?
لا 1.
So 1. So 1 mole of CaC2 reacts with how many mole of water?
2.
2. Good. Reacts with 2. 2.
Yes.
We've determined the number of moles by the coefficient. Okay, only. So here there is no coefficient, it means 1. Here we have coefficient 2, it means 2 moles. Okay, so 2 mole of water. Great work. Okay, so that's what we know. We need to find, okay, that. So he give me that CaC2 in grams. So I must convert these grams into
Moles.
moles. Good. So we said that 1 mole of calcium, okay, CaCa2 equal how many gram? Let's find the mass of calcium. The mass of calcium is 40. The mass of carbon is 12. So it equal 12 multiply 2 because we have 2 carbons, yes?
Yes.
So overall they are equal 64 gram. So that the mass of 1 mole equals 64 gram. So if we have 32 gram of this substance, that means how many mole?
32 over 64.
Good. 60, so 32 multiplied 1 over 64, which means 0.5 mole. Yes?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So like this, we get the number of moles. So back to the first equation. Okay, 1 mole produced 2 moles of water. So what about 0.5 mole? It will produce how many mole of water?
We'll make 0.5 times 2.
Equal 1 mole of water. Is it hard like this?
No.
So you answered the letter A. He asked how many moles of water. So 1 mole. Is it hard like this?
No.
So it's easy. You can answer it. Okay, so just be shy or just say I can't, I'm confused on something. Just share the third and keep silent. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Hi. Let's pass. Kiara. Okay. Kiara, are you here?
Yes.
So good. Let's try to work letter B together. Okay. So we still have about 5 minutes, so we need to do it. How many moles of each product would form? So that's easier now. Already we know that the amount, okay, of this 32 gram of CaCa2 represent how many mole as we calculate? Kiara?
Mm,
The 32 gram of CaCa2 represent how many mole?
0.5.
0.5. Good. Okay. So like this, we have 0.5. Okay. Let's back to the original equation. We said that 1 mole of CaC2, okay, will produce how many mole of C2H2? How many mole here?
1.
1. So 1 mole of C2H2. That's regarding to the chemical equation. So if we're already the amount in grams, we find it's equal 0.5 mole. Okay. So 0.5 mole of CaCa2 represent how many moles of C2H2? Cross multiplication, 0.5 multiply 1 divided by 1. So it's equal. Yes, Kiara?
0.5.
Yes, 0.5 mole. So we're gonna have 0.5 mole of C2H2. So like this, we get the first mole, the moles of the first product. Let's do the same for the second product. Okay. So 1 mole
Okay.
of CaC2 produce how many mole of calcium hydroxide? How many mole of this? 1. Good.
1.
So 1 mole good of CaOH by 2. Okay. So here, if we just have half mole of CaC2, to how many moles we get, okay, here?
0.5.
0.5. Okay, is her like this? In her question here?
No.
Yeah, so like this, that's mean 32 gram of calcium, okay, of CaCO2, as you can see here, okay, they could produce, okay, or they gonna produce one, or they react with 1 mole of water and produce half mole of C2H2, okay, and half mole of CaOH5. Is her like this, guys? In her question? Guys, in her question?
No.
Okay, guys.
No.
Please practice more. Try to answer your questions. Okay, I'm gonna upload the worksheet on the SMS. Okay, so keep working and practice more and more. Okay, because this type of questions are very, very important, and you should be able to answer it in faster way. Okay, to ensure that you could answer the multiple choice questions and something. Okay, like. Thank you, guys, and goodbye.
Bye.